Hello! Today I'll be talking about our very special breed of chickens that are perfect for our northern climate. In fact, they're so well adapted to the cold that they have been known to eat snow. So let's go inside and check them out. So these chickens are called Bjurholms as they were discovered a couple of hours to the east from here near a place called Bjurholm. Höna means hen or chicken in Swedish, so it translates as Bjurholms chickens. Since their discovery in 2011, they have been officially accepted as their own breed, with their own gene bank. Plus they are the most northern breed in Sweden, which was a title held previously by a breed some 500 kilometers further south, which nobody will remember now because who remembers second place? It's only the best loser. Now, the story of how they got discovered starts with a guy called Jonas Nordlund, who happened upon a 90-year-old lady living desolately in the forest near Bjurholm with her chickens while he was going out for a walk. The birds immediately caught his eye. In fact, at first he thought they were grouse, but upon closer inspection he saw that they were chickens, and decided to return to the lady several times after to find more about her story and of course about the chickens. She told him that she got the chickens as a present in the early 1940s from her parents when she was 12 years old, as she had promised that she would take good care of them. Her parents told her that these chickens were very special as her grandfather got them in exchange for cheese sometime in the 1880s while working at a barge yard outside of Umeå. The flock of chickens was thus taken home to Bjurholm by her grandfather, who then passed them on to her parents, who then passed them on to her. When she was around 20 years old, disaster struck, when a fox took out almost the entire flock, leaving only 5 hens. Luckily enough, just a few weeks earlier she had sold some roosters to an acquaintance who was going to have them for slaughter. But since they were so kind, the acquaintance decided to keep them, and so he was very happy to give back one rooster. After this, she always had 3 roosters in the flock to ensure that at least one would survive a possible predator attack. And thus we do the same. A similar thing actually happened to us last year when we got these chickens. We started with 6 and upon arrival one died already because he had a problem with his leg, which seemed to have happened during transport. And then things went fine for a couple of months until one day a stoat managed to get into the coop and take 2 more of our chickens, leaving us with just 1 rooster and 2 hens. Luckily enough, we had just bought an incubator in which we had put 22 eggs, from which we got 13 chicks, but we were very close to having to start all over again. Now in this lady's flock of chickens she would always cull the lighter colored chickens, as it seems that the darker colored chickens survive predator attacks best. We don't need to worry about that, as we have built ourselves a fortress for the chickens which now should be predator proof. And so we can keep all the birds with their wonderfully diverse colors on display. The hens weigh about 1.5 kilograms, while they have rather small sized combs, and the eggs weigh about between 40 to 50 grams. The roosters, which you can see behind me, weigh about 2 kilos and they have some, let's say, medium sized combs. On her farm she would slaughter the heaviest roosters in the fall And she would also slaughter the smallest ones, because according to her they would not be able to survive the harsh winters. I must say, we have a bit of a colder climate up here than in Bjurholm, and so far we have not lost any chickens yet in the winter, except to that damn stoat that took 2 of our chickens. Neither have we seen any frostbite in their combs or wattles. She would always have a lead rooster in her flock that they would allow to grow old for as long as possible. According to her grandfather, this kept the flock very calm. But as it got older, it would usually get into a fight with one of the younger roosters or get expelled from the flock. She does remember a rooster making it to 15 years old. She always had her chickens in a large log barn, going in and out whenever they pleased, and in winter they had no heat. When their water would freeze, the chickens would just go out and eat the snow, which I have seen our chickens do as well. She'd feed them barley and rye, which she had sowed and harvested herself on the farm. And besides that, she would give them potatoes, carrots and peas, also homegrown. Which just goes to show that these chickens don't need a wide diversity of feed to have a good healthy life. Jonas did find another flock nearby that had descended from the chickens that were purchased from the original flock in around the 1950s, that also had never been crossbred. So they are a well-preserved treasure and perhaps the only remaining group of chickens from this region's old farming community. The lady in question prefers to remain anonymous and be left alone with her chickens until further notice. Apparently she was not a fan of authorities, my kind of woman. But if we still don't know who she is now, then I doubt we'll ever find out, because this story dates back to 2011, and so by now she would have to be well over 100 years old. But if she is alive, I would just like to say thank you, old lady, for preserving such a beautiful, colorful breed of chickens. Yeah. Any eggs yet?